What are you doing? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button because that's a huge help to me, and be sure to hit subscribe if you are new and you like motherhood videos. Today I'm going to be talking about Jaxon. Today's video is all about Jaxon and his development and updates on him and how things are going, next steps, things like that. For those of you who are new, I have a son, Jaxon, who is going to be turning three in March. We haven't gotten any official diagnoses yet, but we believe he is on the spectrum for autism and he has sensory processing disorder. He is fairly severely speech delayed. He is not saying any full sentences for the most part. And he just kind of has words here and there. He doesn't imitate, he doesn't take turns very well. That's kind of where he's really struggling, and that's what prevents him from speaking. So that's not Jaxon in a nutshell. Jaxon is much more than that in a nutshell, but that's more or less what I'm going to be talking about Jaxon right now. The last update video I did I think was in August, so it's been a decent amount of time since I've updated specifically on Jaxon. When I last did the update video, Jaxon had just started going to preschool, and he was going, well, Mother's Day out here in Texas, and he's going 2 days a week. And at first, I'm gonna be honest, it was a real struggle. So if you have just recently put your kid in some sort of preschool or daycare program and they're struggling, keep persevering. Jaxon was really struggling at the beginning. He screamed when I dropped him off. He'd rush over and even cry when I got him. Like, he was like, oh, thank goodness. But like, he really struggled at the beginning. And now he absolutely loves it. There is nothing that kid loves more than going to school. We can't even, like, if we're tucking him in at night, we can't say you're going to school tomorrow, because he will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, cool. Like, he loves it. We can't even mention it until 5 minutes before we're leaving, because he rushes and he gets a cup and he hands it to us, and he goes and gets his shoes and his socks and he lays down in front of you so that you can dress him. So like, he absolutely loves it now. It's his favorite time of the week. He lives for it, and it's been really good for him. He is listening to instructions. The teacher said that she's so proud of him. If he doesn't want a nap, he just kind of lays there and he's well behaved. He doesn't get up and run around during nap or snack or lunchtime. He waits for the other kids. He waits for lunchtime to be over. There are a couple of videos that I've seen of, when they go from one room to the other, they like touch the wall. And he does that right behind everybody else. If they're doing music time in a big room, he's not running out of the room, which is a big thing. Jaxon in general has been getting a lot better at listening to you, and like, that's obviously a huge thing in general with toddlers in general. For example, when I get him out of the car to go into preschool, I have to unbuckle Maddox first, and so I just tell him, okay, wait, and I tell him to wait next to me, next to the car, and he will. He'll stand there, he'll wait, even if he has his backpack on and he's holding his nap mat, and really, he could run into school if he wanted to. He stands there and he waits and he holds my hand and we walk in. Like, it's been incredible, and I'm so grateful for that. He is still struggling with a lot of things, and a new big one has been meltdowns. Meltdowns have been, they're not frequent. They're not, I would say, max once a week for the most part, unless it's a particularly bad week where a lot is going on, he doesn't get naps, etc. Meltdowns have been a really big thing, and most likely it's from the sensory processing disorder. So Jaxon is not like the cliche typical sensory processing disorder. He actually loves loud sounds. He loves bright lights. Like, none of those things bother him. In fact, he loves them. He thrives off of those. He thinks that they're so much fun, like any toddler would. So it's not like the cliche thing where he has one of those and then he gets so overwhelmed that he has a meltdown. Usually what happens with his meltdowns is something upsets him, and something small. And then it escalates, and then it gets to a point where, like, you cannot calm him down. Doesn't matter if you give him a pacifier, it doesn't matter if you give him snacks, doesn't matter if you play his favorite songs. In fact, playing his favorite songs, which will calm him down during a tantrum, will usually escalate him to get more frustrated. So it's really, you have to be very careful with meltdowns, because you could easily escalate it by doing the things that you typically do to calm Jaxon down, which is very overwhelming, and it can be really difficult. For sensory processing disorder, I could not tell you what triggers him, But his speech therapist really believes that sleep is a huge part of Jackson's sensory system being regulated. If he gets enough sleep, he is a whole different kid. He is talking more, he's just happier. Another thing that helps that is getting a lot of his energy out. So the days that we can go to the park, school's a little iffy because he gets a lot of energy out, but he doesn't take very great naps. But like if we, for example, we went to a friend's house a couple of months ago, and they have a little bit of older children. So they were chasing each other around, they were playing games, they were having a lot of fun, and Jaxon was getting a lot of energy out. And on the way home, he specifically said, get out of car out of car. Like he was asking to get out of the car, and I said, well, we have to wait until we get home before we get out. And he said, okay. And then we were turning onto the highway, and he said, go Dad, go. Like, this kid who doesn't talk was saying these things because he got so much energy out, and it helped to regulate his sensory system. As far as autism, we still don't have an official diagnosis. We do still believe that he is on the spectrum. Next month, like I said, he's turning 3 in March, and when he turns 3, he will be going to preschool through the school district, through like the special needs, through the ECI program that he's currently in, will lead to going to preschool through the school district. So next month in February, which is like, I guess tomorrow is February, they are going to be doing an evaluation, and it's a long evaluation, multiple steps. They're going to go and evaluate him at school and look over him there, the school he's already going to, and they are going to determine a lot of things. They're going to determine if he even qualifies to be in the preschool program, which he will, if he needs speech therapy, how he needs speech therapy, should it be in the class, should it be out of the class, should it be one-on-one, should it be with a group of people, how many days of the week should he go, how long should he go each day, does he qualify to go for transportation, will that help him to go on the school bus, will that help him, why did I say that 5 times, should he be in a class with typical children his age that are going to preschool, or should he just be with special needs kids? You know, basically they're doing all of that, and they are also doing an autism evaluation. So come next month, probably in about a month and a half, we'll have answers as far as that goes. But we do believe he's on the spectrum, just higher functioning. He's going to be verbal one day. Things are going to kind of figure themselves out, but right now it's just kind of difficult. His communication is a lot better though. He mostly drags us places that he wants us to go, and then he points at things that he wants. Sometimes he'll say the word, he'll say apple for an apple, he'll say wawa for water, but he doesn't think that it's enough to just come up to me and say it. He has to drag me over there and then potentially say it. He just doesn't see that there's any value in just coming to me and saying Wawa. That's where we're at with Jaxon right now. I know that was pretty scrambled. There's a lot of information in there. We love that little angel, and he is working so hard. He has a lot of things stacked up against him. He had meningitis when he was a child, and that's most likely what is causing all of this. He's very unique. A lot of his symptoms are all over the place, and his speech therapist said she's never met a kid like Jaxon with the symptoms that he has, but without other symptoms. And so he's very unique. But we love that kid, and like I said, he is working so hard. He wants to help, and he wants to communicate so badly, and it's really, really hard to watch. And honestly, it breaks my heart that I can't just have communication with him and just be able to talk to my kid. But we love him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want to, and please subscribe if you want more update videos and you want vlogs and you just want to see our little family. I'd appreciate it so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.